Welcome to the Viral Solutions podcast. Today we're going to talk about SEO Image Optimization because it does have an effect on your website's ranking. And the world is made up of imagery. And the brands that stand apart are those with an understanding of how important images are in marketing. Because they're what catches our eye and make us read a headline. They are what makes the biggest first impression with regard to an article, a product, or a brand. They convey an instant emotion. It intrigues us and it draws us in. And we all love images. And the thing is, so does Google. And that's why SEO Image Optimization can make a difference in your ranking results. Now, there's a lot to consider for SEO Image Optimization. And we're going to take a well-rounded yet simple approach on this subject, including image design, user experience, technical considerations, as well as how you can go above and beyond. So let's do it. Well, first, image design. Believe it or not, the images you choose can make a difference, a big difference in SEO. You need to make the most of your image choices. And here's how you do that. Don't just post an image to post an image. Although this one may seem obvious, it's one of the biggest mistakes people make in marketing. They underestimate the importance of their images. They choose subpar photos, and they wonder why they get little response. I mean, think about it. What you typically react to first when you're scanning through to find an article about what to read, even before you see the headline, it's usually you're judging it based upon the image that uses, and that's what pulls us in. So put some time into your choices instead of just throwing up last minute, okay, that works. Use unique images relevant to your content that resonate with your audience. Images are one of the biggest reasons people get inspired to share content. And you want your content to be shared, right? So be original. Strive to elicit an emotional response from them, and look to touch on humor, romance, drama, or anything that might connect your content to your reader with an image. Because photo choice is what sets us apart, the pros from the amateurs. So remember that before you post your next image. Now take your image a step further and add text. A picture says 1,000 words, so they say. But when a couple of words are added to that picture, it says what you want it to say. By adding a brief headline on your images, you can completely transform the effectiveness of them while bringing an element of originality to them as well. Because that's how an image gets found. And then your article can be found. And then there's the text behind the image called the alt text, which is actually what Google searches. I mean, it can't read or know the image like the human mind can. What about user experience? Well, user experience also matters in the game of SEO Image Optimization, and here's why. Resolution and formatting can make or break user experience. Believe it or not, search engines know when you use a low quality image. No one wants to look at a low resolution image, have it be all grainy or less than crisp. Well, you also don't want to overload the image, make it too big so your website takes too long to load. Google's algorithm takes into account quality, but it also takes into account speed of how your site loads. It can be a bad user experience when images are not formatted properly and appear distorted on different devices. Well, some of that has to do with file formats and how to best use them. A JPEG is good quality, small size. PNGs are nice and small and a good alternative to a JPEG. They're often used for illustrations, screenshots, image with text, logos, infographics, graphs. GIFs should only be used for moving images because they're very large and they typically can't be reduced. The SVG file format is really good for logos and icons because the quality is the same no matter how much they're enlarged on a screen. So make sure to resize them so the file size isn't too large, and that can be done via a JavaScript or CSS. And then there's the WPP web version, which is fairly new, and that's being greater adapted to the use on sites. So we talked about that image size also affects page speed, and quite considerably. And Google rewards websites that have fast page load speeds because it increases user experience, more mobile people, not always on Wi-Fi. Takes too long to load, they're gone. So when your images are so big that they take a long time to load, people tend to leave your site in search of a faster one. And this increases your bounce rate, which is another indicator to Google that your rankings should be reduced. You got to make sure your images are as scaled down as possible without jeopardizing image quality. You can use tools such as a JPEG optimizer or Image Opt-in, which is on a Mac. You can do online convert, which is image.online-convert.com, and that'll allow you to convert your image to a different file format as well. Now, pixel size matters too. So if you upload an image that's 2,500 pixels wide and you resize it with your blog editor, the browser still loads the full 2,500 before it can display it and reduce the size. That's why it's better off to reduce the size before you upload it. Once you determine the best pixel width for your images, smartresize.com allows you to resize images in bulk. Responsive images are essential today. And what we mean by that is that we're in an era of devices everywhere. So one thing's for sure. Images need to be shown at different sizes on different devices in order for websites to look and function properly on mobile, tablet, desktop. If you're using WordPress, images are responsive automatically. For other platforms, it's important that you make sure your images have the src set attribute. And you can find that on css-tricks.com so that browsers can figure out which image size to use on which device. So here's some technical stuff. Most technical aspects of SEO image optimization don't get too complicated and aren't that time consuming. So here's the scoop. Use descriptive image file names. Make sure you change your image file names from the descriptive name they come with. Otherwise, it doesn't tell Google anything. And Google Cloud Vision API has gotten pretty darn good at determining what an image without any other data isn't always right. So that URL for the image needs to match up in SEO rules, just like everything else. So call your images something relevant that describes the image, including a keyword, alt text, and in your URL. So example, boat.jpg. Instead, maybe call it boat-sail-boat-ship-boats JPEG. Get it? Include a relevant alt text field. We've been mentioning that a little bit as we go along, because this is a field that often gets ignored when marketers add images to their websites. The purpose of it is to get readers an understanding of the image in case it doesn't render properly. It's also used by screen readers for the blind. Technically speaking, the alt text field further promotes the relevance of your content to search engines and therefore has an effect on search results. When you give Google's web crawlers a lot of ways to understand your content and your images, you are more likely to be ranked higher. Include your keyword here too. But again, don't stuff it. Basically, you want to describe what the image is and include your keyword only if it makes sense. If the image is a product image, add the name of the product and the product number, which can serve you well for SEO. Make sure you have an image sitemap. If you're using WordPress and Yoast SEO plugin, images are included in your sitemap automatically. If not, make sure you add an image sitemap manually. This is yet another way for Google's crawlers to properly read all the pages on your website. Use structured data for products, recipes, videos. Right out of the mouth of Google, and we quote, "If you have images on your site, you can help users identify the type of content associated with the image by using appropriate structured data on your images. This helps users find relevant content quickly and sends better targeted traffic to your site." So in our Viral Solutions blog, there's some formatting issues to discover for things like recipes and videos and product images. And you can also find that at developers.google.com/search. All right? And just search for structured data for those different formats, recipes, videos, and products. So make sure you go above and beyond. And that's a tip that most marketers aren't using when it comes to SEO image optimization. So for example, try to caption your images. If you aren't adding captions to your images, you're also missing an SEO opportunity. A brief caption under the image improves your engagement, making it more interactive for your readers. Not only that, captions are crawled by search engines just like your image anchor, or alt text. Insert a keyword in the caption for even greater SEO benefits, but make sure it makes sense. Make sure it flows with the article. Make sure it's in context. Don't keyword stuff. Keep your captions relevant because misleading images and captions increase bounce rates, which tells Google that your page isn't the right match for that search term. It's important to note that captions are read more often than the actual body copy. So to sum it all up, if you weren't engaging in SEO image optimization, you're handing over what could be good rankings to your competitors. So use the tips that we've just talked about to optimize your images, and you're one step closer to snagging those first page results. Thanks for listening to the Viral Solutions podcast. You can find us at viralsolutions.net, or you can call us at 888-816-1222, or all over social media. You can find us right here at this podcast and listen on a regular basis to hundreds of broadcasts. Thank you very much, and make it a great day.